What's up, and welcome to a One Piece arc review from me, Super Nolan Man, and the Hyrule King, Bo Mitchell.
Hello.
And today we are talking about Romance Dawn, the inaugural arc of the series. Now, what we're going to be doing is whenever we reach a break week in the series, rather than, just take the week off, we're going to be doing an arc review and going through the series this way. Now, that'll last us 31 plus break weeks. So I think we're going to be covered
Yeah,
for for a while here. But
yeah,
we're
well,
also going to be ranking these as we go. And when we get to the whole end of it, we'll see how we did, whether or not we agree with it, and maybe do an actual official, arc
your list.
ranking, tier list kind of thing going on. But hey, let's jump right back into it. Romance Dawn. Now, this is the opening arc of the series. But how do you feel
I'll
about
begin.
Romance Dawn as an opening arc of the series? So, of course, we're talking about, for those who don't know, the anime and manga treated a little bit differently, but we're still talking about the same groups of arcs. Just the
Yeah,
anime starts off with
pretty
Luffy.
similar.
Yeah, starts out with Luffy in the barrel, um, and it does the whole Kobe and Alvida thing. And then comes back, flashes back later for the Luffy and Shanks section, whereas the manga actually starts off with Luffy and Shanks with that whole opening, uh, almost light novel kind of thing. Um,
Yeah,
Bo, what do you think about Romance Dawn as just an opening arc?
I think it's pretty solid. It definitely sets up the whole tone of how it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's got that silliness with Luffy in the barrel and like Shanks even kind of like the slapstick almost with
Mm.
him knocking Luffy around, treating
Yeah,
him like
right.
he's just like get out of here, little kid. You know.
Yep.
Um, I think there's definitely better um openings to manga and anime
Mm-hmm.
just like as a whole, but this one definitely sets that goofiness that you get
Mm-hmm.
throughout the series that a lot of people
Right.
don't like to acknowledge exists.
For
But
sure.
it's there.
Yeah.
um
I Oh, you had more?
oh yeah, I was just gonna say yeah, it has it sets up that whole adventure, like that sense of adventure that's throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
um so it gets that feel
Sure.
that's needed to start the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you there. I I don't think that this is particularly strong as an opening in general. However, you're correct. This is so
Yeah.
authentic to what the series is. If you had to boil down what the series is going to be, um, to just a couple chapters, this is a you're not going to do much better than this here. It does work as a great tone setter. It's not particularly memorable. I mean, there's some good stuff in here for sure. I mean, how many times have we
Yeah.
had to flash back to Luffy and Shanks and see that recontextualized, even in just the last few years here of this manga that's now been running almost 30 years? Wild to think about. But, uh,
Crazy.
well, eh, let's let's start here. Uh, Now I want you to think of, if you can, what is your favorite gag or favorite joke from this arc? Usually, this is where we would talk about like biggest reveal and stuff, but there wasn't really a whole lot revealed in this. So let's start. Let's jump straight to favorite
Yeah.
gag from this, because I mean, again, this is the big tone setter for the series here.
Yeah. I It's kind of a gag.
Hmm.
But like my favorite part of it is just how they keep putting Luffy down almost when he's like, "Oh, I'm a big boy. I can join the pirates." Like cuts
Sure.
like the little scar and trying to
Hmm.
act all tough. And like in the anime they take it a step further and they like he orders orange juice and they all order rum or whatever, and they
Hmm.
start mocking him and laughing at him. He's like, "What's the matter with orange juice?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's funny. I
pretty
don't.
funny.
I That section is just out of my mind. I don't
Yeah.
remember reading it. And
I'm pretty sure that's the anime only. Correct me if I'm
okay,
wrong, but
that could be why I have little memory of it. Yeah. Um, yeah, I've got man, I've got a couple. It's hard to pick one, so you know, it's I'm gonna cheat and do both. Uh, for one,
yeah, that's
I
fine.
really like Luffy in the barrel, just busting out and knocking out these pirates. So man, this
Yeah.
barrel's so heavy. And then they get set and he just pops right out of it, knocks them all out. That whole section on Alvida's ship I think is a lot of fun. Uh,
Oh yeah.
but what really is probably my favorite gag is just the utter disrespect for Helmeppo, and rightfully deserved, I'll add. It was
He's a freak. I hate him.
oh
Or
I'm
okay, hate's a strong word. He's lame.
he's well, he's not just lame. Remember, he was gonna shoot the girl. Like
Yeah,
Helmeppo's just actually terrible. And I
he
don't
is
feel
terrible.
like he's
Yeah.
done anything to really be worth redeeming.
He's a
I think
giant
he
dork with his visor glasses. Like he needs a glow up like Kobe got a glow
I
up.
think he needs to go full Daft Punk with it. Honestly, I think I think
Be
that's how
cool.
we fix
Yeah.
Helmeppo. Is we get his if they want to have his hair sticking out the back, that's fine. But every time we see him going forward, we need slightly more and more visor until we don't have to look at his stupid face, and then he just is Daft Punk with like blonde
Oh,
hair sticking
I just
out.
had an excellent idea. Just go with like a basket head samurai, and that's his look.
Oh, someone's been playing Ghost of Yote.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, and without going too heavy into spoilers, just in case someone accidentally clicked on here, um, let be warned that we might just spoil you. This is not necessarily a
Well, that's
spoiler
the
safe
beginning.
zone.
We'll be good.
Hopefully you've if you're watching this review, this arc review, afterwards, you're just like be warned that we could potentially spoil things. But given new information that we've gotten in the last couple arcs here, do you think
Oh
that
yeah.
changes how good of an intro Romance Dawn is retroactively? Or do you think that it's unfair to judge it based on what comes after?
Um, I don't feel like it changes too much. There's some things like looking back where it's like, oh, okay, that was kind of cool. But at the same time, I feel like it still hits about the same.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, we know how powerful Shanks is now.
Yeah. Mm.
So that kind of puts into perspective. Like he didn't even care about losing his arm. Like that was nothing.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like it's still that same. Like the heart of that story is still the same,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what you learn later. Um, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like it's still the same personally,
I'm with you.
or mostly the same.
I hear a lot of people lately, bumping up Romance Dawn as an arc. And I'm more aligned with you that while these new additions are cool and it does make it more entertaining and more worth rereading or rewatching. I mean, because you've got obviously when we had hockey introduced, especially Conqueror's hockey, um, when you have Shanks
Yeah,
facing down the
that
Sea
was
King,
cool. Yeah,
that's really cool. You have even as of late, I mean, in Wano, we had the reveal of how Shanks obtained that fruit, and of course what that
yeah.
the importance of that fruit. Uh, so there's been some interesting adjustments that have happened later that recontextualize it a little bit, and I think that's cool. But I'm
Still
with you.
feel like yeah, him staring down the sea beast is still cool, even if you don't know it's hockey.
Right? Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
that's a
it's kind of
cool thing
like
to do.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
Shanks has been holding back. There's something going on with Shanks, is what we find out from the
yeah,
beginning, and then we find out later. Yeah, no kidding, there is something up with Shanks. But,
yeah.
uh, well, if you could, I want you to highlight your favorite, your who. Let's hear heroes, side characters, villains. Give me one of each that highlights you in this arc. It- or you
I
can
mean,
just
obviously,
do heroes and villains. Side
oh
character if you
yeah,
want a bonus.
um, Shanks. This entire arc to me is super cool.
Hmm.
You know, it kind of builds up that mystery with him, which I've always really liked about Shanks. Um, and then Luffy, I forget about Luffy. He's a little bit, how would you describe it? Ditzy and fresh in this arc, but that's kind of part of the fun of it. So
Right.
he's obviously a standout. He's the main character.
Yes. Hmm.
Helmeppo, I would say calling out is like, he's a person that you like to hate,
Yes.
if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
Oda did a great job of making this guy stink, and you're like, this guy's trash, and like that's good villain writing. You don't want to be like, oh, maybe that guy has a point. Like, no, that guy stinks.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Who would try to give villains motivations and make us concerned about them? I mean, what are we going to do? Just talk
I'm
out our
kidding. I'm
problems? No, I'm with you though.
I,
I
I'm
like
I'm totally
Aleppo for the
kidding.
same reason.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
I
Obviously, Oda knows how to write a villain with good motivation, and you
oh,
it's
it totally does.
interesting.
Yeah,
It's
and
it's just
yeah,
funny to play into that.
yeah. I honestly think that some of Oda's villains are more uh intricate. They're more complicated than
Mhm.
a lot of his contemporaries and rivals will say. Yeah, for myself, I mean, I'm a Zoro stan. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, you are.
Uh, it's true. Zoro's my dude and
I mean,
has
he's
been from
cool.
the very beginning,
Like,
and I'm so glad that he was the first one found, the first one he came across. And first made for a reason. He's been
yeah,
the longest seniority,
gotta
but
build up
also
that the right
uh
hand man status.
yeah, but also what an introduction for this guy. That turns out like he's been
Yeah,
starved for days. He's just hanging there on the not necessarily a crucifix, but he's on a
kinda.
cross of
Yeah,
sorts, being basically left out to starve to death. And if he can hold out long enough, they're gonna you know
yeah,
let him go. Except actually not. Uh, and then I his demeanor is cool.
yeah.
You have
One thing
his
I
rough
kind of
and gruff.
miss is
Um,
when. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
you have his rough and gruff, and then his whole no, leave me alone. I'm gonna get through this on my own. Blah 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 blah. And like the girl's coming to bring him food because he actually saved this girl. We find out, and the girl comes to bring him food, and it all falls to the ground or whatever. And he's like, "I'll take it anyways." He's like, "That was best meal I've ever had." And of course, I everybody knows I'm a big Christopher Sabat fan. Sabat Sabat. I have never actually looked up how to pronounce his name.
I
I've
think
never
it's
heard
Sabbath.
anyone else say it, Sabat. I I mean, almost every Pop Funko I own is a character voiced by him. Like I collect his characters specifically. I if, so I love having Zoro here. You had something you were gonna say about Zoro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, just vibe wise, I
Hmm.
love, and I kind of miss this with like the redesign in the jump skip you have later, where he had like the bandana and
Yes.
just like the black with the eyes. Like, oh,
Yes.
that was so like
Yes.
cool. I
Yes.
miss that,
I do too. It's so
and you get
sorely
a lot of
missing.
that here.
And I get that
Yeah,
he's got the dope scar now and all that, and he's got nice hair and whatever, but I miss
he looked
this old style.
menacing in this.
Yes. Yes. You looked at
Like,
this guy
this
the
dude
first time you
killed
saw
people
him.
in cold blood.
This guy is a villain in any other manga at this time. In any other shonen at this
Exactly.
time, he's
Yeah.
a villain, and I'm so glad that he's not here. uh, I thought that was cool, and I think Captain Morgan is honestly underrated as a villain. Well, for one, he kind of gives us a taste of
Yeah.
what's going to go on with Marines going forward, where we're like, man, how did such a corrupt guy get to power? And then we see going on, oh, you may have to be a little corrupt to get in certain positions of power here. Um, it's a little hard to
Yeah.
get there otherwise,
That's not at
and
all.
they've got a certain culture being fostered there that really allows these, you know, it's just these, you know, machismo militarians. uh,
Yeah.
to really dominate this Vader. But
Yeah,
yep.
realistically, he's probably the best villain. I was mostly just playing around with him.
Well, I think Helmeppo's still a great choice. I
Yeah,
know who we're not going to pick.
yeah, it's
We
important.
we're not picking Alvida.
She
we're we're
sucks.
not
And
picking the Mountain
can I
Bandit.
just say, when she came back, still don't like her. Even with the redesign, she sucks, man. Like, keep her away from the story, Yoda.
Yeah,
She doesn't need to be
she's
here. She's
yeah.
lame.
I'll say she's not. She's definitely. It was an improvement, but it didn't make it. Hey, I
Slight
wasn't. I
improvement.
wasn't like glad to have her back or anything when she shows up again at
Yeah.
Logtown. I mean, I didn't really. I didn't have anything. Uh, yeah, I didn't feel she was
Yeah.
necessary to come back. All right. Well, let's talk about the Devil Fruit introduction because that was
Yeah.
kind of that was the unique thing about the series when it came out, right? Is that you have these fruit powers that are going to uh well, you have these fruit powers that are going to play a major role going forward. And in this entire opening, Luffy is the only one with one of these fruits.
Well, Alvida
Did not have
has
one
one.
yet.
She not?
No,
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how she gets skinny
No,
later.
yeah. I'm dumb. I forgot. Yeah.
Yep. If we're talking just romance done, if we're stopping right before
Yeah. She
Orange
doesn't have
Town,
one yet.
she doesn't have it yet. No, right now she's just out in the ocean somewhere.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
uh,
Being lame.
so what do we think about? How do you think about? uh, How do you feel about the introduction of the devil fruit here and the way that's treated early on?
I think he holds his cards really tight to the chest. Not showing a lot of what it could do.
Hmm.
And playing it up as like a, oh no, he accidentally swallowed it, like this is terrible kind of thing.
Hmm.
And then he really plays into that like goofy side of it where it's almost like improvised. Like a lot of people have compared it to like drunken style martial arts
Oh
where he's
yes,
like,
yeah,
yeah, kind of like improvising like the ooh, like
yep,
oh, I trip, boom, that kind of stuff.
right, yeah,
Which makes for great comedy.
absolutely,
And you don't, yeah, we don't see more of the crazy stuff that he does with it until like much later.
yeah,
Um, so
yeah. Which again,
it's a
what
very
a
like reserved approach, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, I think the introduction to the fruits is kind of perfect because uh you have the oh now you can't swim anymore. But the way it gets revealed if you're reading the manga is he's just walking away and Shanks is what grabbing onto his cheek something like that and he's just walking away his cheek is stretching or is it
Yeah,
his arm is stretching, something like that. And then they're like, yeah, the entire bar reacts to him. Uh,
yeah, it's like that.
and I like that we don't see anybody else until the next arc that actually has a devil fruit. And when we do, he's like the big bad of that arc. So
Mhm.
and it's treated as so rare. It's like, wow, you've got one of these things. You did that.
Yeah,
You can't swim now, right? Which is
it is
crazy
kind of
in a
interesting
world that
because like
is
at this point,
95% water.
yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like since you mentioned that, like thinking back on it now, like devil fruits used to be so rare, and now it feels like every character has one, or like
Right?
a lot of characters do.
Right, for sure.
Um,
And I mean, and there's still a lot of characters that get introduced that don't have them, but it's just like
that's true.
every major character, like everybody who's
Now it
powerful
feels like everybody
has
has
one.
hockey.
Oh, right.
For a little bit, it was like every character has a devil fruit. Okay, now every character has hockey.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of us hoped that as we got further along in the series that we'd actually start to see a little bit less of them, of the fruit powers. But it makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the whole shtick of the
In fairness,
series.
a lot of them are really stupid and aren't actually that helpful. So
That's fair. That's fair. All right,
yeah,
and then let's do a quick straw hat check-in. So we have the introduction of Zora. We haven't talked about her. I don't think we've dropped her by name this entire time. Nami,
yeah, pretty important character.
right? The Navigator. Now,
Yeah,
technically, she hasn't officially joined the crew and won't until later on.
yeah, not
But
technically.
yeah, we can talk about her a little bit. How do you feel about her introduction here?
I think it's pretty solid, and it really fits Nami's character of like the
Hmm.
reluctant, okay, I'll help you kind of character.
Hmm.
Um, and she's all about the money, so she sees the profit
Right.
in joining them, right?
Yep.
Um,
Oh, I've
yeah,
got some
Nami's a
strong
really
dudes who
interesting
can actually
character.
protect me now. Like they took out
Uh-huh.
they took out the Marine base general or Captain Morgan.
Yeah, yeah, she's very selfish, and I think that's very interesting as like a you know, like you'd think the captain would be the most selfish one, but it's really Nami.
Yeah, yeah, the one with the heart of
It's pretty
greed,
fun.
heart of green.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I don't think anybody has matched her selfishness besides like some of the villains.
yeah, Captain John, and
Yeah.
what's his name, Wang Zhi.
Yep.
There's one of my favorite YouTubers. Techie calls him Wang Ji, um, but I really like Nami's introduction here. I like that they really showcase her wiles and her self sufficiency. I mean, she's sneaking through the space on
Yeah.
her own. She's 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 got the espionage kind of thing down, but not just that. She's also just able to like actually take people out as needed and things like that. Like she doesn't have the brute strength that Zoro and Luffy have, but she's very capable at the beginning, and that's something that I
Yeah.
felt for a
She
long
has that
time
like thief
afterwards,
kind of
kind of
personality.
lost. But she was very capable, and granted, uh, I mean, later in the series, probably very much out of her depth, but I love how capable she is early on here.
Mm.
But
Yeah, I think after a while, the series kind of treats her as like, things are so overwhelming to her. She's kind of like lost that fight a little bit. Too
mhm.
bad. But yeah, it's cool to see like that early Nami where she can actually take out some people.
Yeah, yeah, Nami and Usopp, I feel like are supposed to be the
They
stand-in
are
for the
such
readers.
scaredy cats.
They're supposed to be the stand-in for the readers. I
Yeah.
feel, but anyways, well, as we start to wrap this up here, it's time to rank this. You know what? Just for kicks and giggles, we're not going to be consistent with this because we're going to have an actual rank going on. But let's go ahead. Let's give it out of 5 stars. What would you give Romance Dawn? Not
I
just
give
as a
it
starting
a
arc, but
devil
just
fruit
overall.
out of I give it a devil fruit out of 10.
All right. That's a 6 point something. No, just kidding. I out of 5 stars, I would probably give this a solid 3. Maybe 3.5.
That's kind of where I'm at on
I
it.
I
Yeah, like if
this
I
is
was
a
thinking a tier list, it's probably like a B, you know,
Yeah, I'd be
like middle
yeah,
of the road.
C maybe B tier. It kind of depends um on how I'm feeling. I really enjoy Romance Dawn. It's comfort food at this
Yeah,
point. Especially I'll be honest,
exactly. Yeah.
I maybe it's because of how many times we've seen the Luffy Shanks flashback since. I'm kind
Oh,
of tired
way
of
too many
seeing that
times in
part.
the anime.
I'll be honest, I preferred it the way the anime does it now,
Anime
where you
kills
just
that
start
scene.
off um busting out of the crate. And honestly, I may like that better at this point. But anyways, yeah, about 3 stars for me.
It's a lot of fun.
Maybe 3.5.
Yeah.
So let's start with our ranking here. So now we've only got one arc to rank here. So where are we putting Romance Dawn for now? We thinking number one, or we thinking number one? uh,
Oh, are we gonna like put it at one and then gradually move them down?
exactly.
Is that
Yep.
what you're thinking?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. All right, it's at number one right now.
All
It will not
right.
stay there.
No, it won't. We don't even know if it's gonna survive next time that we do an arc review, but we'll have to wait and
Not.
see. But for now, that's going to do it with us. Tell us in the comments below what you thought about Romance Dawn. Whether you agree with us putting it at number one out of one arc so far. But that's going to do it for this arc. Now, remember, if you like these reviews, you've got to click like, share it with your Discord, subscribe if you want to see more. We also talk a lot about video games, by the way, and are in the middle of
Yes, we do.
drafting our favorite Nintendo libraries. So you should click on our channel to check that out. But for the rest of you, have a great week.